Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. The nonprofit organization Pastors United is made up of a diverse cross-section of leaders in the faith community. And here to tell us more about some of the work that they're doing and a special event that's coming up soon is Elder Greg Lewis, who is the president of Pastors United, and Pastor Charles Watson, who serves as treasurer of the organization. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, good morning.
Hello.
So good to have you here. And for those who are unfamiliar with Pastors United, tell us more about the organization and what it is you do.
Well, we're an advocacy group, and we have 6 major initiatives. Number 1 is family structure. Number 2 is health and wellness. Number 3 is economic development. Number 4 is crime and incarceration, community control. And number 5 is education. And number 6, civic engagement. And then we have 2 very internal initiatives. It's prayer and evangelism, because we're a faith-based organization.
Right, which makes a lot of sense. And
Yes.
with the list of initiatives, I wanted to talk about some of the things that you've been able to do within those initiatives, especially when we're dealing with crime and incarceration, because of course Wisconsin has one of the highest rates of African American men behind bars in the country. And then when dealing with education, you've got 40% of male graduates from high school in Milwaukee, and that's a very low graduation rate when you talk about trying to get everyone through the school system so that they can, go out into the world and do great things. So what are some of the things that you are focused on in dealing with those 2 things in general?
Well, when it comes to crime and incarceration, we have an initiative called Adopting the Block, where we're going to ask every church to just adopt the area around you. And that means we start out by just go out and pick up some paper. And then, when we start to see people coming out and they see us doing things, and, we want to encourage them to ask questions about what we're doing so we could talk about taking care of our community, because it is our community. And when it comes to education, that's the major issue for youth development for us right now. As a matter of fact, we're having our banquet, and it's called the Year of the Youth, painting a new image. And we want to talk about, helping them understand who they are, where they're going, what they are, so people won't be putting the consciousness of underdevelopment and failure in their heads. They can develop and have a sense of the victory that is really inside these young people, because they really are bright. But, society seems to encourage our young folks to believe that they're coming from nothing. And that's what needs to change. Our history has been so skewed, Andrea, that, America's got a lot of explaining to do, because we didn't just come over here and then we were just slaves. We have a rich history and culture, traditions, and languages that are very, very, distinct and intelligent, that our young folks really don't know anything about. And if you don't really know who you are, what you are, and if you always have somebody telling you what you can do, where you can go, what you're capable of, you're under control of that situation. We need to be developing our young folks so they understand the greatness that is their past, because without putting those pieces to that puzzle, we really can't react in a way that becomes developmental for our community, and our youth are so very important. Yes. I mean, we could go on and on with that one, but
yes, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts on that. And yes, there was the saying, if you don't know where you come from, you certainly can't know where you're going. Right. So I don't want you to get lost over there. I haven't forgotten about you. Right. You guys deal with health and wellness as an initiative as well. So what are some of the things that are important when it comes to that?
Well, one of the things with health and wellness that we do is we reach out into our community, and we try to bring in those that are in professional fields so that they can impact those that are in our churches, that are in our different faith groups, and that can really be a help to impart tools of empowerment to the people. So it's not really so much us necessarily doing the work, but sometimes it's us just making the necessary connections.
Yes, yes, and that always makes a huge difference because everybody has their own thing that they're really good at doing, or some
Sure.
people's connections are stronger than others. And so I've had a number of civic leaders and elected officials who have come on this show to talk about the issues, and on many occasions, mainly Mayor Tom Barrett, he relies on the faith-based community to help with some of the things that he's trying to achieve when you deal with gun violence and things of that nature. How important is it for you to deal with elected officials in trying to help them who are very concerned about neighborhoods and their constituents as well?
Well, we're a capacity group. You know, we have capacity because we have over 452 leaders in an organization. So one of the initiatives that I talked about earlier was the Adopt a Block, and we're working very closely with aldermen in that situation. Russell Stamper is, we really work close with him and the Common Council president, you know, Ashante Hamilton. So it's very important that we have that connection because, you know, people don't understand how powerful these elected officials really are. You know, sometimes I don't think they understand their power. But, you know, the one thing that disturbs me about, you know, working with elected officials is, you know, we always take our officials and we downgrade them without even supporting them. You know, how can they stick their necks out for you if you don't give them the support they need so that they can go out and make decisions and react to situations that could possibly be kind of detrimental to their careers if you don't really support them?
Yeah.
So I think that's a two-way street. You know, they have to be accountable, but we have to be supportive. And it's very important that we have a decent relationship with our elected officials. It's paramount in doing anything, getting anything done in the city.
Yeah, and that means when you say supporting them, if they hold a meeting in a community saying that they want to, you know, talk about the things that are of concern to you, you have to show up, you know. And that means that if it's election day, then they need your vote, you got to show up. So that is a two-way street, and I'm glad you brought that out. You guys have this major event that's coming up on Saturday, April 29th, and you did mention it, the Year of the Youth, Painting a New Image, a Community of Hope. If you would tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, each year we try to shed a light on each initiative that we have. So this year it's just strictly focused on the kids. And we see all these different things that are going on, these carjackings, these shootings, all that's going on in the school. Well, there's some positive things that are going on as well. We also have some youth performers. We have Running Rebels. We have some other individuals that will be there on that night.
To be honored.
To be honored as well, exactly. And what we're going to be doing is we're bringing light to the good things, some of the positive things that are actually going on, instead of what we always see on the news, which is always negative.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we really want to expose the different individuals that will be at the banquet on that evening.
I love that, giving credit to those who are working hard and who deserve
It's a lot of it going on too, Andrea.
Yeah,
a lot of good things.
Sure.
That's excellent. So this is Pastors United 4th Annual Dinner Gala and Awards
Annual.
Banquet. This is going to be at Abundant Faith Church of Integrity.
Yes.
And where is that located exactly?
Right on 76 in Good Hope.
Okay.
You know, it used to be the old Pick and Save.
Okay,
And
everybody
now
knows where
Pastor
that is.
Pyle
Okay.
has renewed the whole building,
Yes.
and now it's his sanctuary. And we're going to be right in that church, and we just think that we ought to be, you know, working with each other to do some of the things instead of going to other places and, you know, spending our money with other. You know,
Well, that's why it's
entities.
called Pastors United.
Yes.
And that's really, I love the whole concept of you all coming together. And I think this is a good time to tell our viewing audience what churches you represent.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm at St. Gabriel's Church of God in Christ, and I also have my own ministry called Another Chance Ministry, where I'm the pastor. And then I'm working a lot with all the churches that are in our.
And I'm the senior pastor at Temple of Prayer Christian Worship Center. We're located at 4911 West Good Hope. We're actually in construction, so we're going into a new building, so we're excited about that.
That's
as
always
well.
exciting, right? So the building fund must look nice. No. So you have a keynote. You guys are so funny. They looked at you like, did she say that? The keynote speaker for the 4th annual Dinner Gala and Awards Banquet is a name that I've heard for so many years. And you talked about education being a huge initiative that you're looking at this year. Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, and he's a national education consultant and a best-selling author from Chicago. So out of all the people that you could have brought, talk about why he was the person that you chose to bring this time around.
Well, you know, right after last year's banquet, you know, I started thinking about what we wanted to do this year, and we wanted to work with young folks because, you know, there's so many issues. And I just was writing some down, the car theft, the human trafficking, the murder rates, you know, connection with the elders. We really need to make that happen, empowering those young people, educating them, talking about moral issues and transgender youth and peer pressure. And I couldn't think of anybody who would be more efficient at talking about those things than Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu. He's a genius at child psychology, and he has written over 40 books concerning youth. And we said we needed something. We don't want to just have a banquet. We want to have somebody get something out of the banquets that they attend every year that we put on. And we've had some very, very powerful keynote speakers in the past, and we just want to keep up the power that the message will bring this year also.
So people are able to buy tickets to this event. It's open to the public.
Yes.
The phone number where they were called for ticket information?
Well, they could call me.
Okay, I have a number here.
Yeah, use that
414-551-2378. And you were talking about Dr. Kunjufu's many books, and I just wanted to mention a few of the things. He wrote Motivating Black Youth to Work, Developing Positive Self-Images and Discipline for Black Children, and State of Emergency, We Must Save African American Males. That's just a few of them. And he feels the #1 problem in the Black community is the disease of fatherlessness. So that just gives everybody an idea of just how powerful this evening is going to be. So we thank you all so much for coming by. Continued success and blessings and all the hard work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
No,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
us.
It's my pleasure. Elder Greg Lewis is the president of Pastors United, and Pastor Charles Watson is the treasurer. For more information on the organization, you can visit their website at pastorsunitedwi.org. And that's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams, as always. Thank you for watching, and I do hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues in Milwaukee. Have a great day.